Antigua and Barbuda, land of sun, sea, and sand, and drought. Objectively, one of the most beautiful places in the world, and at the same time, one of the most vulnerable. It is well known that the country's financial foundation is its tourism industry, an arrangement that has provided an acceptable amount of stability over the years. But even as the country seems to be experiencing an economic upturn, the question is begged. What would happen if the cruise ships stopped coming? What would happen if the planes were grounded? We're privileged to have a real-world example of this in the COVID-19 pandemic, which had a profound impact on the country's economy. It's in times like this, where insecurities and weaknesses are exposed, that the fundamentals in life become highlighted. Prime Minister Gaston Brown said it like this.
What really prompted me to get into farming was really COVID, you know. So I was messing around with a little backyard gardening at Jolly Harbour during COVID. Well, started just before and scaled up during COVID. But the realization that I could have money in the bank and not having food to eat. It's during COVID that I recognized how vulnerable I was even as an individual and how vulnerable we are as a people.
Yeah.
I recall that at one point when we recognized that the ships had stopped sailing, that we called up all the suppliers, Brighton and so on, and bought up a whole ton of stuff, bought additional freezers and so on, thinking, boy, we don't know how long this is going to last. That's within my household. And then we called in all the farmers as well. We asked them to put additional 500 acres on the production. We were very, very concerned. But again, it drove home the vulnerability to the extent I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to be a person who have money in the bank and not being able to eat.
Honorable PM is right. You can't very well eat money. And in a place that imports so much of its food and gets hit with severe droughts every 4 years, it should be generally agreed upon that the principle of sustainable sustenance is no laughing matter. Or is it?
This is where we get our water. Bit of empty, but yep, since no rain now come, I gotta help. So let's help the situation. AP always do the most, but me love help. We help our country, our nation, Antigua and Barbuda. Fair Antigua and Barbuda. We, our sons and daughters, and whoever that. Remember.
Right. So what if somebody peed in Potworks Dam, right? A few drops in the proverbial bucket, pun intended. But is this a microcosm of societal indifference concerning our food and water safety? Sure, government ministers are seemingly hard at work, putting new infrastructure in place and making land deals. Young and Honorable Mr. Smith broaches the topic.
At the heart of the mission of the government is food security. And food security is ensuring that all Antiguans and Barbudans would have access to safe, nutritious, reliable, and affordable food. The government as well wants to ensure that we have agriculture contribute significantly more to our national GDP while reducing our import bill.
But Mr. Smith, what about pre-deal larceny?
The security and the policing of our farms is still an ongoing thing. We have to as well thank the police force for helping us to secure these farms. They're farms all across Antigua and Barbuda. So it's not an easy thing to do, but at the same time, we must say that they have been making the rounds.
Okay, let's put the cops on the job.
775, I'm here.
Yo, left the man gun, boy. Yes.
Oh, they're shooting the cops. So then let's review. The industry most responsible for our food security is consistently falling victim to rampant lawlessness. And the institution put in place to curb this lawlessness is currently besieged, both externally and internally. And this is all while the agriculture sector is underfunded in the first place.
Look, even in my case, for example, the money that I invested in my farm, I could have put that in housing and make multiples of what I invested. But I want to contribute to the country's food security. That is my personal contribution. So if I, as a leader, has that level of commitment, I would expect other moneyed people to do similar. And other moneyed people are getting involved, not to the extent that we would love to see as yet, but at least there's a movement. And agriculture needs money.
A question must be asked in light of these things. Do we have enough of a sense of community in this country to brave the vulnerabilities that we face as a society? This is pertinent both for the rich and the poor, the white and blue collars. If abject disregard for our fellow man is the modus operandi while things are going well, what will things look like if, God forbid, things start to turn? It is a well-established historical fact that we here in the Caribbean overcame the literal and figurative shackles of colonialism, not just through political maneuvering, but through an ingrained communal empathy that endured for many, many years. This is the stuff our forebears were made of. Though we're no longer necessarily facing the master's lash, or the king's apathy, in any consequential way at least, our modern day test is that age-old concept of love for your neighbor. Do the banks care about the agriculture sector? Does the police force really care about predial larceny? Does the common man care about the plight of the farmer? Enough to leave their crops alone? And if not, even with the soaring economic prowess of the country, what does it really say about us as a society? I am Orville Charles, and this has been a production of Antigua.news.